Take two. Okay. If anyone notices, I haven't got any curtains. I'm using newspaper to block out my window because my curtains fell apart. Don't ask. Apparently, is it the Telegraph or the Times? Well, something was interesting in the news the other day. All serious note. On a serious note, Tiger Woods has pled guilty today of driving under the influence in a court in Florida. And it's been it's been sad fall from grace for Tiger Woods over the last 6-7 years. It was all going really great. Then his then wife catches him out having an affair, or affairs, or sleeping around, and it all goes a bit sideways, a bit Pete Tong, the legend. And then he's also had back injuries and he's slipped into dependency on painkillers, which is another thing I've been long arguing on this channel, is we have to do more to have the pathways in place and the protocols in place so that sportsmen and women, be it in sports such as golf, which is singular and there's no team, and team sports such as ice hockey, football, rugby, league and union, American football, things like that, can go and get help before the problem gets out of hand. Because Tiger Woods has had a very colourful private life. He is the Tiger. And also he's had a bit of injury problems. And that hasn't helped. But he has had a successful operation on his back this time. So it's like his third or fourth back operation in the last 3-4 years. And he feels that he is ready to come back to competitive golf. But we don't know what the court's going to decide at sentencing. They might go, you'll go to prison, mate. Because the amount of drugs he had in his system, he was asleep at the wheel. He wasn't driving under the influence, he had driven under the influence and had passed out. It's a difference. He hadn't made it home. Now, I'm not making this video because I'm not Tiger Woods. I really could not give a fig about his private life. He just got caught out. The fact that you can't really have a private life when you're that high profile. It's like Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky. He's on that calibre of sportsman where his name is known worldwide. It's not just like he's known in his home country, he's known around the world. David Beckham. You don't have a private life when you are that famous. And it didn't help that his wife was a famous model as well. So you get even less private life. And I feel sort of sorry for the guy. But he decided not to get help and decided to self-medicate, and look where it's got him. He's had trouble off the golf course for many years now. But hopefully his back surgery is successful, and hopefully he comes back and he's competitive again. I have no doubt that he's still got the skill set to come back. He'll be rusty, of course. He won't be match fit. He'll be able to do a round of golf, but can he do 4 days of competition? Can he get past the cut? Can he avoid finishing off? The thing is, we don't know how competitive he's going to be until he competes at a tournament. Doesn't matter if it's a non-ranking event, a ranking event, or a major. Until he actually gets out there and competes on the PGA, or even if he just has to go to the European Tour, which is less prize money but might be less media scrutiny, unless he goes back on the tour, professional tour circuit, and competes, we're not going to know how good he still is and how much he's got left in the tank. Because I don't see him, if he does come back, playing much more than 5-6 years at most. I don't see him on the seniors tour. I really don't. I don't think his body could keep up with the abuse. And with the way the last 7 years of his life have gone, God knows. It is sad that no one was there to help him all those years ago. It really is. Just because he's rich and famous does not mean he's not human. I'm not condoning cheating on his wife or drug abuse or anything like that. I'm not. But there are reasons why these things keep happening. sportsmen and women. And those in the public eye, there's a lot of stress being in the public eye. You don't have any privacy, and how he managed to bed so many women as is claimed, or how many women claim to have slept with him, I have no idea. If you're on the tour for 9 months, but there you go. He managed to get away with it somehow. But it can be quite lonely when you're like on a tour circuit for like 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Depends how many competitions you enter, but it can be. I'm assuming it's quite lonely. Not seeing your family for periods, long stretches, being away from home, people you grew up with and your friends and your family and your kids. I assume it gets quite a lonely existence as well, and that can't help your mental side of things. And it's sad what's happened to Tiger Woods, and he's not the only golfer or the only sportsman. Sorry, golf, they've got a history of womanising, but sportsmen in general, and women, because some sportswomen have strayed, so to speak. But he's not the only one to fall foul of the moral high ground, and he lost a lot of sponsors over some of his relationship indiscretions, and it obviously affected him. But at the end of the day, they're adults. He's not broken any law. The driving under the influence, he broke the law, but since he got caught out, his career has really struggled terribly. His form dipped. His health, his injuries he picked up. He's obviously getting more tense and stressed, and that leads to muscle strain, and back injuries can be really debilitating. Like, I don't know if you've ever injured your back in any way, but I can tell you now, it's absolutely excruciating when you can't physically get up. You can't physically walk. Walking just to the shops and back. It's like, I sometimes walk down and get the newspaper, or just walk into town and get something for my games console, or sometimes I walk to the ice rink, and it's nice to walk instead of ride a motorcycle, but after like a mile I'm actually in pain sometimes. The back injuries are debilitating. I mean, I've had problems with my neck and shoulder for a while now. They are debilitating. So I know how it feels. I work in warehouses for a living when I actually am in employment, like when I do warehouse work. When your back goes, or your shoulder, or your neck, you are in absolute sodding agony. It's painful. And we don't know exactly what's actually happened to his back and what part of his back he's damaged. But if it's his lower back, he's in a lot of trouble, because there's a lot of twisting of the body and motion in the body when you take your swing. Like there's a lot of moving parts there. So God knows what part of the back he's injured and how he's injured it. But it's quite a serious one to have that many operations, and he's only just turned 40. It's not as if like he's 65, 70 and he's got arthritis or he's hunchback. He's still early middle age. He's not that old. So, and if you look at his physique, he's built like an American football quarterback. He's a big bloke. He's quite broad shouldered. He's quite a big lad. He's not a small individual. He's built like he could be playing rugby or American football or ice hockey, or could even be a football goalkeeper. He's also quite tall. He's not small. So whatever injury he's had, he's really buggered his bag up badly. And it's good to see that he's had a successful surgery and it's all gone well, and hopefully his legal troubles, this pleading guilty, this is as far as it goes, and he gets probation and community service, because any other sentence, like a suspended sentence, I think that really stuffs him going forward. I think he wants to leave this as a point, move on, get back to competing, but I don't think he'll be as competitive as he was before 2010. I really don't. I don't see him, the old Tiger. We will see a guy who's enjoying playing again. I can see that. I can see a few birdies, eagles, hole-in-ones, albatrosses. I can see like him enjoying playing again. But we've got to wait and see what quality he can produce on a match day or a tournament. And we can only hope that like he does get back on the PGA circuit and he can give another 5, 6 odd years of quality golf. I don't see him playing past another 6 years. I don't see him making it to the next Olympics, for example, in 3 years' time. Well, I can see him possibly being eligible to play at that Olympic Games, but I don't see him wanting to play an extra tournament, which increases his chance of aggravating his injured back. I think we're going to see him at not every tournament. I think we're going to see him at selected invitationals and PGA events and majors. I don't think he'll be able to do a full season like everyone else. If he wants to keep playing till he's 50. I also don't see him making it to the seniors tour or competing on the seniors tour, because I don't think his back is going to hold up to that, because that will really push his body further than it can go. We look back at his career with wonder and how many tournaments he's on, won 18 majors or something. Like Jordan Spieth is young and exciting. He's won hardly any. He's won a couple. Rory McIlroy, young, exciting. Tiger already won more by that point than they have. I don't know what it is, but Tiger Woods and Sergio Garcia, both equally talented. Sergio Garcia's won one major, Tiger's won 18. He just dominated the sport for 15 years. And then, unfortunately, his body in the last few has given up on him. Simple. We'll wait and see what happens with the drink driving guilty plea, because he's pled guilty, so it's drug driving. He's pled guilty to driving under the influence. But hopefully he's reached his lowest, and that is done, and he can get the help he needs, and he can, I still think he's going to have to manage his pain threshold and manage his back. I don't think he's going to be able to compete at every tournament, and he might have to withdraw from some, and he's going to have to be selective and how he practices and trains and all sorts. Because other sportsmen, like Mario Lemieux, by the end of his career, he couldn't even bend down to do his skates up when he was playing in the NHL. His teammates had to put his skates on for him and take them off for him, because he could not physically bend down. His back was completely destroyed. So that's where he could end up, in so much agony that he can't physically do his own shoelaces up. So he's got to be careful. But hopefully he's past the lowest point now. It's onwards and upwards, and hopefully he can still have a good career and do well in some tournaments. But I don't see him winning anything. This could be a flash in the pan. It could literally be like a prelude to retirement. He might have to retire permanently on health grounds. We don't know. Honestly, don't know. But from the statements that have been given the last few months, he's had a successful back operation. It all went well. No complications. He's back practicing on the practice courses, and he's swinging without hindrance, and he's managing to do it. So we can only assume that he's nearly match play ready. So we should watch this space. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I know this is a golf video, and I'm not really a golf guy. I do watch the sport, but I'm not really a boffin on golf. It's not a sport. I mean, I do watch it, but it's not a sport that I actively, constantly watch. It's interesting, obviously, since Tiger Woods has had all his problems, a lot of other golfers have really filled the void. Now he was number one for the longest in history. He's won the most tournaments in history. So since he's had his problems, other golfers have really stepped up and made it really competitive. So if he does, he might have a Cinderella story and get really competitive. But I'm going to think it's going to be harder for him to win even invitationals and tour dates on the PGA. It's going to be really hard for him to do to get up the rankings. Really, I think he's going to struggle a lot more and find it tougher to play against because they've got better. The actual tour, both European and American PGA, have really improved since Tiger Woods fell away. He's encouraged a lot of young players into the game, and some of them actually look better than Tiger Woods in how they strike the ball, how they how they chip onto the green, how they approach the media. He's really, because he made golf exciting for young people, and Sergio Garcia as well, because they made golf exciting for people. So many kids picked up a golf club for the first time. So many kids went out on the driving range with their mum and their dad and started hitting balls. So we can say his career's had some positives on people. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and leave your comments below on Tiger Woods and how you feel about the whole the whole situation, and I'll have another video for you soon.